In this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to come up with an app idea, actually build it, and market it online so you can make your very first dollar from something you built yourself. And because I'm so certain that what I'm going to teach you will work, I'm also going to explain how to operationalize and grow your business after you get your first few customers. So why should you listen to me? Well, over the past few years, I've built more than a dozen products for myself and other people, and unfortunately, most of them have flopped. But once I learned the right way to pick app ideas and market them, things started working. I went from zero to a couple $100 a month and then to a couple $1,000 a month in recurring revenue. And here's the thing, I'm only a few steps ahead of where you are, but I've already learned the hard parts. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do so you don't waste the time that I did. Oftentimes when I'm getting advice on entrepreneurship, I find it a lot more helpful to get it from someone that's closer to the stage that I'm in. And if you're watching this, I'm probably much closer to you than other founders and investors on the internet talking about building businesses, but they've raised money, built a team of 5 to 10 people, and they're spending tons of money on ads to make things grow, and they're pulling in several $100,000 a month in recurring revenue. But you just want to learn how to get to a few thousand, at least for now. I'm not claiming to be an expert on this. I'm literally just a random guy on the internet who's been building software for many years and loves to build apps and make money off of them and market them on the internet. So I hope you find this video useful, and that's enough of me trying to beg you to watch the video. So let's just get into it. Step number 1 is coming up with an app idea. I'm just going to be direct with you. You don't need to come up with a new idea. At first, just copy what already exists. One of the most common questions I get from startup founders I work with is, how do I validate my startup idea? If you watch other startup videos, especially from investors who want to put their money into billion-dollar ideas, they'll tell you to go talk to customers, do user interviews, iterate quickly, and see what customers want. They guide you on how to build a differentiated product from the get-go. And that's great advice if you're trying to build a billion-dollar company. But if you're struggling to make your very first dollar online, you don't need to do all of that. Others have already done all the hard work of validating the market for you. You don't need to validate a product that is already being sold. You don't even need to build the whole product. In fact, you shouldn't build the whole product. What you should do is copy the core 15 to 20% that people use on a daily basis. Most mature products are bloated. They grew features for every edge case, for multiple customer types, for enterprise customers, to support compliance with multiple countries, and so many other things that you don't need to worry about in the beginning. Your advantage is to ship the simplest product with value. When I worked at Postman, the world's largest API developer tool, our CTO asked us to analyze a new API platform that took off really fast. They didn't rebuild everything we had. They stripped it down to its simplest workflows, no sign up, super easy to use and share. And that new competitor was created by one person, and it made money in weeks. And it started capturing a portion of our market share so quickly that it caught the attention of the founders at Postman, a $100 million incumbent in the space, but our complexity was baked in, so we couldn't match their simplicity. And that's the opportunity here for you. Cut out the bloat and deliver the core, just like I did. Some of you will have ego, just like I did. You'll say, but it's not original. How will I differentiate from all the other products out there? Just stop. Drop the ego. It really, really does not matter. Originality is honestly dead in the product and content world these days. Look at how many people copy reels on Instagram or videos on YouTube. You can create original products and content once you have traction, but it really doesn't matter in the early stages. Something really funny about the software business is that whenever you say, I'm building XYZ app, someone always says, well, that already exists. But why can't there be 2 apps that solve the same problem? It's like coffee shops. Starbucks exists, Dunkin' Donuts exists, and your city still has dozens of independent coffee shops. Many of the owners make a decent living off of those shops. Same with apps. I'm a big fan of copying an idea first and then differentiating it later as your user base grows. For example, I forked and launched a video encoding API in a single day. It competes with the big providers. I copied only the core job, a clean API, basic defaults, and a simple way to kick off video encoding jobs. No extra bloat. And people paid for it quickly. All I had to do was put some tutorials out there on how to generate cool videos and then tell them how to sign up for the video API as one of the steps. And within a couple weeks, I already had paying customers. Later, I differentiated things like adding presets, webhooks, usage-based billing, and better user experience. But that came only after I shipped the base and saw revenue. So I recommend you go out on the internet, scroll through Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and see what apps are being marketed to you. And if you find one interesting and you think you can rebuild it, strip it down to its 15 to 20% core functionality and ship it in the next few weeks. Step number 2 is, how do you build your application? Some of you have coding experience and some of you have none. This advice applies to all levels from beginner to expert. There's always debate and confusion around the best tech stack to build on. Remix, Svelte, Next.js. Just ignore all the noise. You should pick a stack with the most developer support. If you pick something unpopular, you won't get the help you need when you hit bugs or issues. Even LLMs won't help much because they're trained on public data. My pick is to use Next.js, which allows you to build your front end in React. Is Next.js perfect? No. But it's one of the most popular frameworks for full stack application development. And after building several apps with it, I can tell you that it has amazing support, the performance is great, and the documentation is also wonderful. So Next.js is my go-to for any new app that I'm building. Next, you'll need to host your app, the front end and back end potentially, and I would recommend doing that on Vercel. It's a little bit expensive, but it won't break the bank. We're talking about maybe tens of dollars of difference a month, depending on the size of your user base. And when you're first getting started, it's just not going to be that much. That may or may not be ideal, but it's the easiest path forward. And at an early stage, you should optimize for ease of use, not what's best. Now is not the time to get lost in analysis paralysis. For mobile apps, I would recommend using Expo, which is built on React Native. It's cross-platform and allows you to build one code base for iOS and Android. If you're targeting iOS or Android, sure, build with the native Swift or Kotlin. But for most people, Expo is the fastest way to get something in people's hands. For backend services, database, and integrations, I would recommend using Supabase. It handles authentication, databases, storage, and that's 80% of what you need in most apps. It's affordable, all-in-one, and the company is very active. That last part matters. When you're stuck, you'll actually find help. For payments, just stick with Stripe. Yes, there are other tools out there like Paddle or Lemon Squeezy, and those handle taxes and other things for you. But honestly, dealing with international tax compliant is not your biggest problem right now. Stripe has the best docs and the best developer tools, so just use it. For product analytics, I would recommend using PostHog. It allows you to track user interactions in your product so you can see which buttons people click, which features get used, and what workflows your users are going through. You can also watch session recordings to understand user behavior, and when you're ready, you can use it to do A/B testing and experimentation as well. It's basically an analytics and experimentation tool all in one. It's not absolutely necessary to use PostHog or even any product analytics tool for V1 of your product, but as you want to scale your product and diagnose why features are or aren't working, this will become essential. For writing code, the actual development work, if you know how to write code, I would suggest looking into Cursor. It's an AI-powered code editor that speeds everything up. If you don't code, look at vibe coding tools like Lovable. They'll help you get something working faster. And if you don't want to dive into backend code quite yet, you can wire up tools like N8N or other no-code automation tools like Make. Depending on what you're building, that might be able to carry your backend for V1 of your product. Later, maybe in version 2 or version 3, you'll need to move it to code, but for now, figure out what lets you ship fast. So a quick recap: full stack web apps use Next.js on Vercel. Mobile apps use Expo or Swift or Kotlin if you only need to build on one platform. For backend services, look at Supabase or N8N. For payments, use Stripe. For product analytics, use PostHog. And for developer tools, use Cursor if you know how to code, or Lovable if you don't. Step number 3 is marketing and selling your product. This is where most developers fail because they just don't have the experience doing that. They can build, but they don't know how to get customers. The truth is, just like when you're picking an app idea, you don't need a brand new marketing idea. You just need to copy what's already working. And when I say copy, I mean copy. Here's how you do it. You go to YouTube, find videos on your niche that have over 30,000 views in the last 30 days. Don't just grab any video. Find the video that you like, go to their channel. If the video that's doing well is pulling in 500,000 views, for example, but the other videos are only pulling in 5,000, that's your signal. It's an outlier within that person's content and audience. It means the title, the thumbnail, the hook, they hit perfectly and the topic is hot right now. Now, here's what you copy. You copy the title. You can literally copy paste it or just make a very, very small change, but try to keep it pretty much the same. Copy the thumbnail style, the same colors, text style, same composition, same number of components in the thumbnail, and then copy the hook. That's like the first 30 seconds of the video, and keep it very, very close to what's in there. Don't reinvent, just model what's already proven to work. Once you've got that part down, here's the actual system for leveraging that content. Create your own long-form YouTube videos with the same hook, thumbnail, and title, but make sure it's over 10 minutes. And this is where you want to go deep and share stories and teach your target audience. Then you're going to take those videos and you're going to chop them up into shorts. You're going to take one long video and turn it into maybe 10, 15, or 20 short clips, and then you're going to post those clips everywhere as well. So YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, LinkedIn, everywhere. Cross-posting multiplies reach without extra work. And if you're wondering how to create that many shorts without burning out, I have another video that shows you how you can generate 1 to 2 shorts a day while only investing 1 to 2 hours a week of your time. Go check that video out after this one. Now, you can try other channels, things like community marketing on Reddit or even B2B influencer marketing. Those work, but oftentimes they're slower and they take a lot more manual effort and they're not as evergreen. Don't waste time on paid ads unless you already have a short that's converting really well and you just want to boost it. Content is the repeatable system. It compounds. To make content work for you, you'll want to do a few things. First, define your ideal customer profile. Who is your customer? What are they like? What are their likes and wants and needs and pains and gains and all that good stuff? Pick 3 to 4 content pillars. Those are categories of topics that your customers care about. And then make a ton of videos around each of those pillars, each one tackling the problem or challenge or insight that that customer wants from a different angle. You don't even need to push your product directly. Just show up, teach, and give value. You can mention your product casually here and there, and the right people will check it out. Or you can include it as a step in a tutorial and tell people to sign up as part of that tutorial, and you don't even have to say it's your product. Now, you'll want a clear call to action. For me, it's simple. Join my free community. That's the freebie I give away. When somebody grabs your freebie, you can start a DM conversation with them. Yeah, this sounds a little bit like a sales process, but you only need to do this in the early days, maybe to get your first 10 or 20 customers. Then once you're chatting, send them more details on how your product helps, or invite them on a quick call where you can help get them onboarded. Later on, you'll polish your funnel and make it more self-service, but with your early customers, you should try to talk to them, and that's how you learn and start making your first few dollars. And speaking of plugs, if you're a SaaS founder and you want help launching or scaling your product, check out the free SaaS User Growth Academy. It's a free community. I'm going to link it in the description below. It's for SaaS founders. We share playbooks and give advice on how to launch and scale a SaaS product. So remember, copy titles, thumbnails, and hooks, make long-form videos, chop them up into shorts, cross-post everywhere, give away freebies with a clear CTA, and talk to your first 10 to 20 customers directly. That's how you market and sell your product and actually start making money. All right, step 4 is learning how to operationalize your product and your business. This is the stage that no one really talks about, but it's the one that makes or breaks you once you have paying customers. The first version of your product will be bare bones, and that's totally fine. But the moment you have customers, you need to start building systems around your product. Here's what I mean. First, automations. You don't want to manually chase every churn risk. Set up churn notifications, inactive user sequences, and win-back campaigns. There are plug-and-play automation packs and templates out there that are built on tools like N8N, and they handle churn prevention, upsells, and win-backs. Just connect your app to those automations and you're live. I'll drop a link to one in the description below. Second, support. Don't waste time building your own help desk. Spin up a Skool community for your users. It doubles as a support forum and as a user hub. And you don't have to manage a complicated Zendesk setup. I'll drop a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Third, fixing bugs and shipping updates. Your early customers will forgive you for ugly UI, but not bugs. Stay on top of fixing those first. Ship small updates often so customers know the product is alive. Fourth is business dashboards. You want to be able to track things like churn, monthly recurring revenue, lifetime value of your customers, whether users are active or not. Even a basic dashboard in Google Sheets or Metabase can work early on, but don't fly blind. The most important thing though, after you've launched, is to deliver ridiculous value to your first wave of customers. Host a weekly call for them, be available, answer questions, learn what they love and what frustrates them. Talk to them and make sure you're engaging with them as frequently as possible. That customer intimacy is your unfair advantage against bigger companies. So operationalizing isn't about scaling yet. It's about putting in the systems that make sure your product delivers and that your customers stick around long enough for you to grow. And speaking about growth, that's the next step. This is where you start thinking bigger, not just keeping your customers happy, but multiplying them. Here's what to focus on. First, scale your content. Keep making long-form videos, but aim for higher quality, better editing, stronger hooks, and keep chopping them into shorts and sharing them on all the platforms. The volume matters. The more you publish, the more chances you have to hit. Second, explore new channels. If you've only been on YouTube, bring your shorts to TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. These platforms cross-pollinate. One short can find you new customers across all of them. Third is referrals. Turn your happy customers into your growth team. Offer them small rewards for inviting friends. Sometimes all it takes is a discount, a free month, or early access to a new feature. The trick is to try to make it a loop. Every time a user invites someone, both sides get value. Dropbox nailed this by giving free storage to both the referrer and the friend. You can do the same with credits, discounts, or bonus features. A well-designed referral loop compounds growth because every new customer has a reason to bring in the next one. Fourth is partnerships. Find creators, influencers, or B2B partners who already reach your audience and swap value with them. Co-host a webinar, bundle tools, share each other's products, collaborate on social media. Partnerships can unlock audiences you'd never reach solo. Fifth is polishing your funnel. By now, you shouldn't need to DM every customer. Create a smooth self-service experience, clear pricing, clean onboarding, helpful guides. The less friction, the faster you grow. And finally, keep listening. Your best growth lever is still your customer feedback and their retention. The longer they stay, the more they use your product and the more they refer it. If they love something, double down on it. If they're confused, fix it. Your product and your growth go hand in hand. So growing isn't just about blasting ads or chasing vanity metrics. It's about compounding the systems you've already built: content, referrals, partnerships, and customer obsession. If you can do that consistently, you'll go from a few $100s a month to a few $1,000s a month, and then you'll just keep growing from there. And that's the full walkthrough from idea to build to getting customers and then operationalizing your business and growing your product into something sustainable. If this gave you clarity, do me a favor. Drop a like and subscribe so more people can find it. And if you're a SaaS founder who wants help launching or scaling, check out the SaaS User Growth Academy on Skool. It's a free community where SaaS founders share playbooks, feedback, and support each other. And we give you tools like pre-built automation packs to save you months of trial and error. The link is down in the description below. That's it for today's video. See you in the next one.